In a world with long to-do lists like this one, can we set aside tasks and instead look at who we want to be? Today we're talking about a very important topic, presence, which is, by the way, a wonderful present to give and is often overlooked. Anyone feeling like there's something missing in their lives, and for certain every entrepreneur whose business could be better, needs to hear this. Let's go. Welcome to the Art of a Meaningful Life, and today we're going to talk about presence. All right, not this kind of presence. All right, I have to be really careful because our puppy, baby Buster, loves to eat paper products. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the art of being present. We recently talked about presence and about me at 25-year-old as a nurse caring for a family with a premature baby. And it's a beautiful story, and I taking care of them at what was likely the most challenging time of their lives. And in 3 weeks, got to know them really well right before Christmas. So sometimes we are given the opportunity to show love and kindness like this by simply being present. Sometimes we provide this presence to a stranger. So let's break this down a little bit. So true presence is a gift. It's how we tell someone you matter. In our world, and also 40 years ago, I was always busy. There was so much going around me. And much of it was, I was responsible for it, such as making sure little Randy's health was maintained while he was out of his isolette and in his mother's arms. But even so, this huge moment meant I also needed to tune in to what his mother needed. I wanted her to know that this was my gift to her, and I saw her. I was there in her pain and in her joy. So being there was truly a gift for me too. One I never forgot. Clearly, 40 years, and I'm still touched by the story. So holding space isn't about fixing anything. It's about witnessing with an open heart. But for now, let's talk about how do you become more present. So number one, release your need to do anything different than just be there. You don't have to be any such way, just truly present. So this sounds really simple, but if it were truly that simple, we would have a much more connected and kind world. Listening deeply is like the purest form of connection. So this is how indeed I connect best with nature. So I'm a nature photographer. I might be out with my camera and have an agenda of what I want to photograph, where the light might be perfect, all these important things, but I really pay attention. I quiet my expectations and just allow myself to be guided. And it might sound a little woo-woo to you, but keep in mind that we are in fact nature. And by being out in nature, out in the woods or in the ocean, it is in essence going home. And now it reminds us that our problems and we aren't really that big in relation to the world. It reminds us of what is important. So in the ways we connect with nature, say in a forest or at the beach, is how we can connect with other humans in need. Their needs might be huge, as in the story I told you, or they might be very small. So what else? Number two, release your own expectations. It's not about you. In a story, there are heroes, right? They're trying to do something that seems insurmountable, and there are helpers, those with the wisdom who can guide and support the hero, often with experience themselves. They don't need to be the hero of the story. So hear this, you don't need to be the hero. You are there to hold space for another. It's otherwise just not about you. So you surrender by allowing things to happen. Presence says, I see you, I hear you, and I honor your journey. That's big. So number three, be curious, but do so very quietly. I'm very curious. Observe with little judgment. No judgment is a really tough thing, if not impossible. As humans, we judge. The messages, though, sent via our body language, including eye contact, are very important. You might even think to yourself, I am here for you, or something along those lines that you can repeat. A little story here, this will kind of bring this home for you. When I photograph people, say for headshots or other portraits, they have a goal of how they want to be seen by others. And this is often really, really tough, by the way, for the photographer too. That's why we have these. So the first impressions are spot on and are good, right? That's why we have our headshots. So I guide my clients by asking them for the top 3 things they want someone who looks at their photo to think. So I hear things like kind, competent, trustworthy, reliable, happy, and so on. Then I ask them to embody those words, maybe even just one of them, right? You are kind, you are trustworthy, you are reliable, and so on. Like, really take that in. And guess what? They look at their pictures and are so happy because it's what they wanted to say. It's not that they are being anyone else, they're being themselves. And so will you. We just need some gentle reminders, so I am just present. I don't need to do anything. So, number 4, you might need practice to just be, because we're attuned to doing something, or we're always taking specific steps to help someone we're doing. The thing is, what they need most is something special. You just holding the space for them. This can be a little vulnerable. Withhold all judgment of yourself too. In a safe place, vulnerability isn't a risk. It's this bridge to a deeper connection. So try this. Someone is talking to you and telling you about their day or their challenges. Okay, put your phone down. This says, I see you. Remove it from the area, put it in your purse or on the counter or in a drawer. Keep it out of view. And then just listen. Don't form answers or responses in your head while they're talking, because that's what we do. You just want to hold space. Don't fix it. Make eye contact. If you say something, reiterate how you think they feel, right? I hear you say you're feeling whatever it might be, or this sounds really difficult for you. Open-ended, right? Avoid, hey, that makes me feel, because again, it's not about you. However, words are not always needed. Just be curious. Okay, so that's a lot. I know it. Take it in. And in closing, I just want to say, presence seems easy, but again, if it was, our world would be so much different. So be gentle with yourself. If we all listened better, we would understand one another so much better. But each of us, one at a time, taking action can make change. It always begins with one. As always, thank you for listening to The Art of a Meaningful Life, and I'll see you next week.